Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Allegro. Thank you so much for coming back to watch yet another video, and thank you for subscribing if you have. If you haven't, please take a moment to do so, and also like and share this video with your friends, and also just take a minute to click on the notification button so you don't miss any of my future videos. So once again, thank you so much for showing this channel so much love, and I'm encouraged to make more videos because I know you guys are watching and you guys are loving the content. So in today's video, I wanted to talk about the pros and cons of working from home. I know majority of us are still working from home since the lockdown last year. I started working from home in April 2020, over a year now, and I've definitely picked up some pros and cons along the way that I wanted to share with you guys. And I know I've also seen some of you guys sharing on social media, about some cons, and it was all fun and games, I think, in the beginning, but now we're starting to notice some things that we feel like, it might be better if I was working at an office, if I was going to work every day instead of working from home. But then on the flip side, there are things that are positive, the pros that we definitely are thankful for during this lockdown. So I will start with the pros. I want to be positive, so let me start with the pros before we get to the cons. My first pro here, I have my phone just so I don't forget anything out. The first pro is time saving. I've noticed from the get-go when the lockdown started how much time I have been saving just commuting to work, the drive to work. I used to drive maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes, depending on how bad the traffic would be, to work and from work. I mean, that's over an hour, every day, over an hour, every single day going to work. And also when I asked some of my staff what are some of the things that they like about working from home, the number one thing that they all mentioned was the fact that they don't have to commute to work. And those that don't have cars would say, it took us forever to get to work because we wake up super early in the morning to make sure that we are not late and we're at the office by 9. You go through 2-3 taxis, you go through the train and so on. By the time you get to work, you've already had a stressful half of the morning, and I just was trying to digest all of that and understand what they go through, not having cars. Some of them do have cars and they also get stuck in traffic. They live a little further than I do from the office, and it was just a hassle. So I think we can all agree that we save time working from home because you literally wake up in the morning and go to your laptop, start working, make a cup of tea or coffee, and you're in your space already. So that's one of the things that I really love about working from home. And another thing is, as mentioned, the decreased costs in commuting. Those that were using taxis have saved on the commuting costs, and also the drivers have saved on the amount of petrol that they used to buy every week, every month. So it's definitely also helped our pockets, and I'm super grateful for that. And I know that you can agree with me on this one. Not spending any more money, just stepping out to work is saving you money, which is a great thing. And another thing, I know sometimes we don't think about this, but I'm one person that does think about these things. The pros of working from home is that it lowers your chances of getting into a car accident. I know you don't think of it at the top of your mind, but it's there. We're driving less. You're not using your car, you're not using public transport, you're home and hopefully safer at home. So there's less chances of you getting into a motor accident. So I think that's also just one thing to take away from working from home that is definitely a positive. We've also got decreased stress. I've noticed with myself that, I'm less stressed. Always when I was driving in the morning to work or from work, you're thinking about whatever that happened during the day, maybe a bit of a fallout with a client or your employees, or things not going well, or you just being under pressure. And, you're not even concentrating on the road sometimes when you're driving to and from work, because already your mind is just buzzing with all these things that you need to get done. And it's just so stressful. So when you can wake up in an environment that you're comfortable with, in your home, get ready for work. There's far more less stress than, you know, just being out and about every single day and encountering other people and their problems, and that just kind of increases your stresses over and over every single day of the week. So that's one takeaway also, one pro from working from home that I also appreciate. And there's also increased flexibility. I've noticed that also because I'm much more flexible. Yes, being an entrepreneur is already flexible in terms of my hours, especially being a business owner, but I have a lot more hands on my time than I usually would have. So much so that some of you have seen that I've launched businesses within the lockdown, businesses that I've always had in mind for a couple of years, but I always said, I don't have time, I'm too busy, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But right in the middle of the lockdown, right in the middle of the pandemic, I launched 2 new businesses, you know, and it's been great. You know, I've been able to use up my time and just, you know, taking away from how flexible I am, I'm able to also just spend more time with my family, which brings me to the next point, is that we now have more family time, as opposed to when you had to wake up at a certain time, to be at the office at a certain time, coming back home at a certain time. It's now late in the evening, you make your dinner, you shower, you get in bed, and the next day it's the same structured routine every single day of the week. Now I feel like we're seeing our families and friends more often. If you are living closer to your friends, you're able to also see them, but I see my family almost literally like all the time, and I'm grateful that I am around and I have more time for that, because we're making memories, and I think it's a special time to be making memories, and now more than ever we need one another, and it's absolutely amazing that we can have that time to spend with our loved ones. And also just something that I noted, being a mom, I now have more control and keeping an eye on things, on how my son is growing. Now that he's at preschool, I'm able to manage his time wisely, see what he's doing at school. So, you know, I feel like just more control of the whole motherhood, and as opposed to if he was going to preschool and I'm not around and I need to rush to meetings, it would be the helper, his nanny, just taking care of things. But now I have much more control. I'm able to actually see what his day is like, what his needs are like, and spend more time with him and see him learning and growing. And I think that's great for all the parents out there also. Something that the lockdown has done for us has given us more time to really pay attention to how our kids are growing and how we can be better nurturers and be there for them and spend more time with them and just love on them a little bit more extra, you know, and that's something that I'm definitely appreciative of. And then we've also got here, I noted down, flexible approach to exercising. I'm not a wake up in the morning, go to gym, or go to gym in the evening type of person. I am exercise throughout the day. And by that I mean just, you know, staying as active as I possibly can. There are, however, some days where I'll put on an exercising program, maybe on YouTube, and I'll watch someone, and I'll just do maybe a 15-20 minute routine with them. Or I will, you know, download some exercises depending on which part of my body I want to work on, and I'll quickly do those for like 15, not more than half an hour workouts for me. So if I'm up at 6, sometimes by 6:30 I'm done with my quick workout. But I also stay healthy and exercising throughout the day. I'm always active. I've got stairs in my house. I'm always going up and down the stairs. I'm always outside playing with my son actively, whether we're playing soccer or I'm pushing him on his bike or scooter, or, you know, just taking a walk around the estate. You know, it's always, I keep it in mind that that is part of my exercise, so I don't have to always stress about, I need to go to the gym, I need a trainer, I need all of that, because I've done that in the past and it didn't really work for me in my schedule. And now I'm just appreciative that I can have some flexible time, even in this lockdown, that I'm able to, you know, take some time and focus just on myself and my health. And the health part also just doesn't speak to the exercising. I think you guys can see I'm glowing, my skin is glowing. I'm spending a lot more time at home, so less makeup for me. When I am home, I don't put on any makeup unless I have to, if I'm doing maybe a virtual interview where I need to prepare myself. Otherwise, I am makeup free because my son is always jumping on me. And besides my son, I love that my skin can breathe. I'm not very big fan of makeup. And even when I do apply makeup, it's very lightly. You guys will see if I just get my brows done, a bit of, foundation, sometimes even just powder on my face just so that I'm not so shiny and oily, then I'm good to go. Lip coverage, and then that's about it. I'm not too big on a lot of makeup, which is something that I've seen benefiting my skin. And especially now during the lockdown, that I'm spending a lot more days at home, which means less makeup, and my skin is loving it. I've also got here healthy eating habits. Absolutely. Sometimes when we're on the go, we're rushing, we're working, you tend to just grab the Starbucks. I was guilty of that. You tend to just grab a sandwich because I didn't have time to make one at home. I left the house early, grab a Krispy Kreme donut, and be on my way. But now I'm very conscious about what I put into my body. I wake up in the morning, I open my fridge, I look what's in there, which is usually a lot of healthy things, because I also watch how I shop, so it makes it easier how I eat at home. So I'll make myself a cup of tea. I'm not big on coffee, and when I do drink coffee, I drink decaf coffee or rooibos, and that's just about me. Herbal teas, I don't take any caffeine, except when I need, days when I need like my shot of Red Bull, then that's my intake for the day. But I've learned that I need to also just schedule my eating, my eating plan, call it that. So I didn't follow that whole breakfast snack, lunch snack, that type of eating schedule. But now I do, because I realize that it is important. Have a nice big breakfast, have a snack, have a nice healthy lunch, have a snack, and then have a smaller dinner. And by 7 o'clock in the evening, we have eaten, dishes are washed, we're chilling, and I'm drinking my herbal tea, and that is about it. So I make it a point that I watch what I eat. And this has been possible because of the time that I have now, and I'm able to actually watch what I eat, be precise with what I put in my body, and also what I feed my family, what I feed my child, because what he sees me eating is what he's going to want to eat. So I'm really grateful for that. And then another lost pro that I have down here is just increased ability to manage our life, home life, and children, which I kind of touched on already. So it's nice where you can literally manage your home life. I know most of us were used to having our helpers do everything, but I've been able to spot things that my helper wasn't doing right in the house. I've been able to spot things that I haven't been happy with in the past, but because I didn't have time, I overlooked them. From the way the house gets taken care of, the way it's clean, the way my garden gets taken care of, I'm now able to point out to the gardener, can you please do this? Can you please watch out for my trees? Can you do 1, 2, and 3, my flowers here? Even in the house, the more present I am, I notice things that I don't like, and I'm repositioning and redecorating and just making the space more homey the way that I want, as opposed to before, where I would spot some things, but because I didn't have much time, it would either be a thing of I'll see it over the weekend, and weekends you're usually tired, or I'm spending time with my son, and I don't have time to just be focusing on things that weren't as important. But now that I have more time working from home, when I'm done with some work things, I'm able to look around the house and say, okay, here's a DIY project I can quickly do. Here's something I can fix in my son's room, and so on, which is really, really something that for me is a pro, and I love it. Now, moving on to the cons. I'm going to go through these ones quickly because no one wants to be stuck on the negatives. But temptation to overwork, really, really important, because I find that the more time we have working from home, a lot of us go over the hours that we're meant to work. If you were a 9 to 5 person, you now find yourself working more than 9 hours, more than your 8 hours, more than the hours required for you to be on the job. And this is because you're there, you're at home, your laptop is right there, and you feel like, you know what, let me just keep working. Even on weekends, you just find yourself working, because I think now it's something that just keeps you busy, keeps you perhaps even entertained. But it's important to note that you should not burn yourself out. Just because you're working from home does not mean that you need to put all the extra time you have back into work. You need to take that time for yourself and for your family. Again, the scattered working hours, because we're working from home, there's no structure anymore. There's no that 9 to 5 lunchtime, it's between 12 or 2 and knocking off at 5. You kind of just, your hours are everywhere. You work in the evening, you work late in the morning, early in the mornings, or, late in the afternoons. You're kind of just everywhere, and that can actually, deter you from being productive. It can be counterproductive when you're actually thinking, well, I have all this time to myself and I can be productive, and you end up not doing much because your hours are everywhere, and you're not managing your time very well. And also, just, I know some people have been struggling with finding space to work from home, and you find yourself just picking up your laptop and working from your bed or working from your couch or the kitchen counter, and it's not even your posture, the way you sit and how you're going to work on your laptop determines how long you can stay in that position, and how, I guess, how do I say it? Not healthy. What's the word? But you guys know what I'm trying to say. Like, you shouldn't be slunched over. You shouldn't feel like, otherwise you get tired, and you kind of just, you fidgety and you move around a lot. But when you're seated in a comfortable position at your desk and table, whatever that is comfortable for you, you're able to actually get a lot more done and actually remain healthier and in a better posture than you would be when you're just working from your bed or lying sideways on your couch and thinking you'll get some work done. I mean, we've seen some people being caught on Zoom videos, just kind of in their bed taking Zoom calls, and it's work time, but they're lounging around, So finding the best space, I guess, in your home to work from has been difficult for some people. I'm very fortunate. I have an office here at home, so it's always been set up even prior to the lockdown. Have a desk, a table, my printers, my Wi-Fi, everything is set up. So it was easier for me to just transition from working from the office to here. Less human contact with colleagues. I think that is something that we can all agree on. In the beginning, I think we were all like, oh, thank goodness. Maybe some of you just weren't keen on seeing your colleagues every single day, but after a while you start to miss them. It's like in any other relationship, when you used to seeing people all the time, all of a sudden you see them less and less, and then it's months after months, and in our case over a year now into the lockdown, you start to think, okay, I miss those times by the cafeteria. I miss our lunch breaks. I miss the little chit chats we had, the small talk, just seeing people in the office. And I've had those moments where I just miss dressing up and going to the office, seeing my staff and just seeing everyone and us just working together. You miss that human connection, that human contact. But yeah, it's tough, So that's one con that I've realized, especially for myself, that I do miss. Another thing is just overdependence on technology, which one part of the work that I do, I'm grateful that we have technology in order to continue the work we do. But then there's also the downside of it being that we tend to now do everything on our phones, on our laptops, and technology every single day, where I find myself just wanting to disconnect, wanting to just take a walk in the garden, wanting to just be away from the Zoom calls, the meetings, and this and that all is happening online and on technology and social media and so on. So I think that is definitely a con. But if you can break away, take breaks, take walks, free up some time to just disconnect from technology, then it can be better. There's also the loneliness and isolation. A lot of people can't spend time alone, a lot of time alone, that is, and they find that in the beginning it might be okay, but after some time they get anxiety, some fall into some type of depression. It's just not good for them. They love being around people. So that's a con if you are working from home and you're the type of person that just does not like being isolated and disconnected from other human beings. And then lastly, ability to maintain discipline. Some people are just not as disciplined as others. We function differently. And when you say to someone else, yes, you can work from home, or now you are forced to work from home because of the lockdown, some just cannot work from home. They need somebody who is going to micromanage them and always be telling them, do this, do that. Have you done that? Where's your to-do list? Have you accomplished all the tasks for the day? While others can actually go about their way, get everything that they need to get done work-wise in about 3-4 hours, then have the rest of the day to do whatever else that they want to pursue. So the discipline is not the same, and I guess in this case you would have to teach yourself to be more disciplined and draw up a list of to-do lists, set out to do all the tasks that you need to do, all the important things, before you start overthinking and just scattering your time and doing other maybe not so important things around the house, or just lazing around. So yeah, guys, those are some of my pros and cons of working from home. I hope those have given me something to think about. Let me know what you agree with. Let me know what you've been struggling with, and let me know what you appreciate most about working from home. And if you are working from home, how has the entire experience been? If you are a parent also, how's it been working from home with kids? I would love to hear from you. So do drop me your comments in the comment section, and I will be chatting to you guys. Don't forget, once again, please do subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification button so you don't miss any of my future videos. Also like and share this video with your friends, and I will chat to you guys in the next video. Bye.